before we get started that the firing of Mike Brown today was just shocking to me, and I'm sure all the guys, all the people in our profession, men and women. I had the privilege of working with Mike when I was in Indiana as a head coach the first time. I view him as one of the standard bearers for integrity for our profession, and I'm just absolutely shocked that that decision was made. So he'll certainly land on his feet, but you look at the job that he did and the turnaround that they had, and it's just really hard to believe that this decision was made. But teams have the right to do this, do things like this. Obviously, it's their decision. But Mike's a great man, a great basketball man, and really one of the pillars of our profession. So anyway, onward.
I want to ask obviously about Drew. Was that is there any kind of setback there, or is that was it still the plan to not play in the second night of back-to-backs? Obviously, you mentioned after Sacramento that you were able to do that in part because he didn't play the fourth in that game, but was able to play against Golden State. Are you guys still in the place where you are a little bit careful with him back-to-backs, or was there any kind of back step over the last 24 hours?
Well, we haven't heard about cellular rollover minutes for a long time. And so I'm not going to get into all the details about it. We don't have another back-to-back until February. So this would have been 2 back-to-backs in 6 days. And there were some signs that this was a needed decision.
How do you look back on that East Final, your thoughts and play, what you guys got out of it as a team, being able to, I think Joe said that you guys were the toughest matchup they had on the way to the championship there. How has that kind of carried over to this year?
It was a great experience for us. As we've gotten into this year, you get so immersed in this year, and you want to be careful about talking about last year in many ways, because this is a totally different year. It's a game that's being officiated much differently. Our team has changed pretty significantly, even though we brought everybody back, quote unquote. We have a lot of younger guys that are playing who are getting better and are doing some very good things. And so, but anytime you can have that kind of an elevated experience against an eventual champion, it's an amazing opportunity. It was a rough 4 games. We did some very good things, but their ability to strike at the end of games was something we just couldn't overcome. And so as we develop our team, our organization, we're working toward long-term sustainability. We're always thinking about development, and so that experience was very valuable.
You mentioned games being called differently this year. Is that something you're aware of going into a year? Is that something you kind of noticed and have to react to? What have you noticed in that sense?
Yeah, they told us in early September at the head coaches meeting in Chicago, and gave clear examples, and so no surprises, but it's just there are different things that are being governed during the games, and they were very clear about what they were going to be, and so there's a higher level of physicality. There's probably a pretty significantly decreased number of free throws, I would imagine, but I haven't looked at it. Game flow is better. I think that a lot of the things that have come from it have been very good.
It seems like the coaching profession now, maybe with JB in Cleveland and now with Mike, it's the star player over the coach. How important is it, and how has it changed relationship with the star player seems very important. And it seems like teams are making their decisions on choosing a star player over a coach. How does that affect your coaching when you have to figure out how to coach your star player, how to get along with him? All of that relationship seems to be extremely important.
It's a relationship business. Everybody from people in the governors, the ownership, to your best players, to support staff. It's just it's a relationship business, and so you're asking a kind of a direct and general question at the same time, but the relationship aspect of it and the human element is something that's inescapable. So yeah. That's my answer, I guess.
Rick, you had 3 injuries. Ben's coming back and Aaron's been out. Was there, on this recent trip, was there something that happened that you guys got back on track and were playing well again? I know it's hard to talk about it already.
We had 5 quality practices in a 2-week period, and I know a lot of teams did too, because the NBA Cup reschedule opened up some time, and we had a pretty compressed schedule early, and we were probably owed a couple of days. Now we're going to Paris to play 2 games, one of which is a home game, I might add, in January, and that's a 6.5-7 day trip to play 2 games, and so I think the way it comes out, it's 2 games in 9 days. Does that sound right?
About that, yeah.
Yeah, and so that compresses the schedule for us at both ends. So, but look, this is part of it, and so how do you manage all of it? We went through a tough period, with guys out, and our team remained steadfast about their commitment to each other, the commitment to what we were doing. We got back in the gym, we were able to work, and we got better in the margins. We were better with ball security. We rebounded better. Our attention to detail on game plans became better. And look, these games, like 2 of the 3 games, on the West Coast trip were clutch games, and they're just go either way, and you got a guy like Durant running around making shots, and you got to deal with that. And then Golden State, you got Steph Curry running around. It's a messy deal, And look, you just got to hope that your spirit is right, and the make-miss gods are on your side a little bit, and guys are doing the hard things and sticking together. And so, we had a stretch of success, and then we come back here, and then we got, Oklahoma last night, and these guys tonight, and then these guys again on Sunday, and then Milwaukee. That's how we end the year. So, and then we go to, I think, Miami after that. So there's not an easy game anywhere. So you gotta love the challenge of it, and keep pushing forward.
Mike's firing is kind of a classic example of a coach is proven to be a good coach. They make a change because the season's not going the way they need it. They need to try to do something. What do you think of that practice by teams in general of trying to change coaches mid-season to salvage a season? And what are the things that maybe the public doesn't see behind closed doors about why a season going well one year can go south the next year?
The whole thing about coaches being fired in general sucks. That's obvious. But I can't speak to your question really. I don't know the thought process. What's reported, and you hear things about sources. These are decisions that teams have a right to make. But on a day like today, to me the important thing is pointing out what a good man, what a great coach Mike Brown is, and the level of integrity that he brings to our sport. That's important. that's important to note.
Do you have a better sense about a timeline on Ovi, or obviously you expect him to be out today, but do you have any sense of if it's a day-to-day thing or if there's any chance of it being a longer term? Not yet.
Don't know. Always been a fast healer, and he's unexpectedly bounced back quick a couple of times, three times. But we'll have to see. I can't really share any more details than that.